We heard a consultant's, we believed in a consultant where he said, change your menu, it's gotten boring. And we saw a major crash. So after that, we had to come back to getting our menu back. Then we saw a climb.
I think it's like reading into the situation like you guys are coming there every day, but the customer is not.
Exactly. And even if the customer is coming, Hammered was like, it was like a coffee shop. It was like a meeting spot. All the many industry people used to always come, hang out, you know. So the person coming in every day, it's like home for him. He wants a particular coffee, he wants a particular dish, which when we change, he gets upset and he doesn't come back. So we saw that. We saw that backlash, then we regretted. By the time, we could understand it was 6 months. We saw the sales going down. That's when we realized, oh no, we shouldn't have changed it. Then we got it back. So it's a very tricky move. And if you see, like RRR, maybe Mysore Hotel, they don't change the menu. They don't change the furniture. They don't change anything. Like you go to the washroom, even the sink is same. It's functional and it's good and it's neat. So that thought, after we did all this mistake, we realized that we shouldn't change things. People don't like changes. Whoever comes to you, he comes to you for a particular reason. Make sure you maintain that. Yeah,
So you only skirt some changes which are not so noticeable, but you maintain the core.
exactly. Core or maybe 90% of your business.
So through the journey, you were talking about how you guys read into your own analytics, as in you guys have a data of close to 400 to 500 people walking in every single day, which will amount up to 30 days. On weekends, sorry, the traffic will obviously be
Weekend
4x.
it doubles up. It goes up to 900, 2,000.
So with so much of data that you all
So
have,
we have about uh, a monthly all outlets put together about 30,000 every month. And
so
of course, there are a lot of repeat customers and all that
but still you have close to 30,000
a month
people's behavior that you guys are
from 9
reading
years.
into from 9 years through what they're drinking, what are they liking, what are they not.
So when we started, gin culture wasn't there. So last 2-3 years has been gin. Then wine has always been there. So we've seen all that change. So people were drinking only a particular brand of whiskey. Now they've moved into single malts. Like I think it's all about people aging as well. So and cocktails. Cocktails used to go very less earlier. Now it's all about cocktails, beers, brewed beers.
I think you have to
People are
blame
very
Insta.
educated.
Yeah.
Yeah. People know the drink. Like you give them a wrong mix, they'll say this drink is wrong. So see, everyone's traveled abroad, or they've traveled to anywhere. A lot of places in India, they know how things work.
Crazy. I think now I've touched upon probably a Mount Everest now, because I'm sure the topic is very big. It's liquor.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, as much as people like to believe people are stepping outside for a drink, it is still the food which is giving you guys all the money. Am I right?
It's both ways.
What?
Both ways. Yeah. But more profitability is in food.
All right. So, understanding the liquor side of a pub or a brewery, firstly, I think in the conversation you did drop few hints as to there are little things like which brand gets featured on the rack, or what is basically made as a face of a particular pub's entry or whatever. I mean, firstly, I would like to start with the conversation about how a pub functions, because brewery is a bigger chapter which we will tap on later. Because it's pubs, we are talking. Insta has probably brought in the trend of cocktail because everything has to look fancy. It's colorful. The glass, or the what do you call
The
the shot glass?
serveware, anything.
Serveware, yeah. Everything has to be fancy. What used to be to the tongue
Straight. Yeah.
is more to the eyes first.
Exactly.
So, how are you guys reading into these trends, and then what happens there?
So the best and the bad part about these trends is they fade out. So when they are working, and it has to be unique, it can't be the same. Like whatever I'm getting in a pub A cannot be in the pub B. So every time we are reinventing, thinking over, looking at references from far away, and copying or getting inspired and making them. And later is purely about holding on your customers, retention, which has become a major problem right now in the city, because you have so many pubs opening in a month that a customer won't come back to you at least for the next 7 or 8 months.
What are you saying?
Yeah, that's, I'm just talking to you purely on data.
So once a customer comes to you, for him or her to be a repeat customer, it takes 7 months of roundabouts, exploring all the other places, and again the person is coming back to you?
Yes, if you're good.
Oh, that too if you're good.
If you're good, yeah.
Oh,
If you're
crazy.
good, and every 20 minutes, every 20 rupees, customer changes the place. Like the affordability of a customer changes every 20 rupees in the pub. Like if a beer is costing 150 rupees, 160 rupees, 170 rupees, he will come back to you or he'll not come back to you. If you're higher, more chances he won't come back to you. And in the same area, he'll have many options. Like I think any good areas has minimum of 7 to 8 bars. So you know, and he doesn't want to hang out in the same area. Maybe most of the time it works both ways. Like, you know, sometimes you don't want to get out of the area because of the traffic, but sometimes you don't want to hang out in the same area. You'll go to another area. So a lot of factors.